Welcome to
Amen.
But Podcast. Two best friends, two mics, unpacking faith, queerness, love, and life after purity culture.
Hey, beach. What up, bad bitch? Sorry, I disassociated for a moment. You're like, is she done yet? Girl, what's up? Nothing much. Been working. What's up with you? Girl, same. Working, planning. But we're here. We're queer. I had a pap smear today, my annual today. Ooh, shout out. Right. Listen, if you're over 30, get your pap smear done, okay? Legs open, with arms wide open. Like, I know I need to. I need to schedule mine now. Dude, when was the last time you had one? Don't ask. That's a HIPAA violation. That's a HIPAA violation. So, yeah. So I guess I broke HIPAA by telling you about mine. It's fine because it's yours. You can tell whoever you want. Facts. Which, I mean, the lady was so nice, doctor, like, and she was black. I was like, oh my God, like, she was so sweet. I was like, you're making this really enjoyable. Like, you're, inside of me, but it was still nice. Enjoyable? Well, enjoyable because, like, she was, like, nice. Like, she was just like, this is what I'm doing. Like, she was like, before I do this is what, like, so she was very, like, formidable, personable. So, because going to the doctor is, like, not fun. It's always awkward. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of scary too. And it wasn't really awkward. So that was nice. Okay, I won't tell Kim that you enjoyed your pap smear. Okay, well, maybe the enjoy is the wrong word. It was a pleasant experience. If it's the right word for you, it's the right word for you. Well, no, I'm feeling shame for using the word enjoy. Like, try to shame you. If you can enjoy pap smears, it's fine. Okay, and forget enjoy. Like, forget the word whatever came out of my mouth. It was a pleasant experience, and she was very professional. Okay. Whatever you say. I've never seen the word enjoy ever in my life. Again, ever again. No problem. Up to
Taking it
you.
out of the vocabulary. But yeah. But how was your week been? How's it going?
It's going good. We are tipping our toes back into planning for the wedding. Olivia's still trying to find her dress. She's still trying to find a cheaper one, I guess. But we got our taxes done, so hopefully we'll get our tax refund back and she can just buy the dress she wants instead of
Right.
trying to find a cheaper version. So we're stressing over here.
Ugh. I know. I mean, saying yes to the dress is painful process. I think when you actually
Some.
okay, girl. Sorry I can't be all like you. You found yours in like 2.5 seconds.
I had my appointment. I tried on what, like 4? And then I think it was the 5th one I tried on. That was it. I just knew. And plus people were crying. So I had to dish out the money. But hers is like gonna be a grand more than mine. So that's why she's really trying hard to find something else.
Oof. That's crazy. We'll see if my time will come.
Sooner rather than later.
Listen, this economy, who knows? We're in war now, so
Girl, I had like we should not get in talking about the war because I had like existential crisis last week.
it's kind of hard to like talk about it, but not talk about it because I feel like you don't want to be ignorant. of the fact of
Mhm.
what's going on in our country, but at the
Mhm.
same time, you don't wanna be consumed by it. And there's definitely a line in regarding of, like, understanding what's going on in our country, but still living your life. And if anyone out there has a better way of handling it, please DM me because
Let us know.
let us know. Because it's like it's hard, like, I'm planning stuff, traveling. Is that okay? And then, like, you feel guilty for doing it, but then the things that you shouldn't feel guilty for living your life,
Hmm.
but, like, it's so hard to not.
Yeah, because tomorrow is not promised.
It's not.
So I'd rather live my life out and about than end up being at home, you know?
Yeah. So definitely
Ugh.
it's like a rock and a hard place to, like, really, like, understand what's going on, but obviously my heart goes out to everyone who's in the service right now, could not be me. You're better than I am. Like, home defenders. Oh, literally. Like, think of, like, my dad and my brother out in the military. I think I would be a mess if they were still enlisted.
My oldest brother just got out. I think he retired. I don't remember. He was a Marine for quite
Okay.
a long time. So I'm grateful that he's out. But I keep looking at these videos of like they're talking about a draft. And I have to keep telling myself, girl, you're too old and you're too big. He is not gonna draft yo fat ass.
She said, "You are too old and you are too big."
Mm,
Honestly,
amen.
yeah. I mean, I don't think I'm eligible either, so that's nice.
I know, but I
Like,
still get freaked out because I'm like, what if they do call me?
well, I mean, the draft is, like, mainly for, like, like, men between, like, 18 and, like, 27 or something like that. But I know women are not can still be also drafted, so I'm not ignorant either that, like, that also could be a thing. I mean, I know the ins and outs of that, how I would work,
Mhm.
but yeah, but go like, "I'm too big, and I can't."
Too old and I'm too tired.
I'm dead. But listen, if there is a draft, the president's son better be in that bitch.
You know, they got bone spurs.
Not bone spurs.
Yes, that's how he evaded the draft. That's how Trump evaded the draft the first time.
Really?
Girl, yes, he lied, said he had bone spurs so that he can continue to go to college because he's a coward.
Oh, I didn't know that, girl. I didn't know all the lore about that one, period. I'm like, "Damn." I
Girl,
didn't know about
I
that.
shouldn't know what bone spurs are, but I had to learn it. That's how he evaded it.
Right. I mean, I have heard of burn bone spurs before. I don't know what that means, but I'm assuming maybe your bones are too big.
I don't know what it is, to be
You
honest with
looked it
you.
up because you wouldn't brought it up.
I'm pretty sure, like, his bones hurt is what it is.
My bones are I think everyone's bones are drink some milk.
No, but I think he needs some milk.
You
Uh,
need some milk.
I think it's an actual okay, I think it's an actual disease and it's actual pain. I
Okay.
just don't think he's ever had it. I think it's hard to prove, and that's why he picked that one. But let's not get into people faking disabilities, okay? Let's not dive into that.
I've had my
'Cause
fair share of people that I've known who fake disabilities. We can get into what this week's topic is, and, so Alyssa and I well, like, more so you really, like, was like, there are so many misconceptions out there, and different variety of misconceptions. Like, one misconception is that Black people are lazy. Not true. It's not a scientific fact, but people tend to say these things. Uh,
I've never heard that.
really?
Yes.
Dude, yes! Like, this different,
That.
like, on the internet, like, everyone mainly, like, white nationals, like,
Oh.
the you know what I'm saying? Like, but
Well, yeah, racist people
and
believe that, yes. Sorry. Forgot about racism for a moment.
right, it's prevalent?
Sorry, that's my white privilege coming out. My bad.
I am crying, but there's so many misconceptions out there, but I think there's a
Mhm.
lot of gay misconceptions that
Mm.
I definitely I wanna, like, just talk through because I feel like people always have this idea of something that's not actually factually true, and we're gonna address that today.
And it's stuff that we believed as well. Like,
That is true.
we believed it, and then also, once we joined the LGBTQ plus community, we were like, "Oh, that's not true." Like, we got to witness it firsthand of what we thought it was, and then finding out what it really was.
Right. And so, I know for the first one that I wanna tackle is sexuality is a choice.
Mm. Mic drop.
Now, I will be vulnerable and say that I went up on a pulpit with a microphone and have preached this before. Dark days. Didn't know better. I was just in the fold, and I believed that, like you chose whether or not you were gonna be gay or straight.
Mhm.
You really woke up one day, like, "You know what? Like, I don't wanna be straight anymore." And that honestly was, like, just, like, a huge thing that I based off of, like, a majority of my testimony on was, like, "I made a choice, and, like, I believe that God called me to bigger and better things, and this me, um, you know, being gay is not for me, whatever, like, and I choose not to do that." And, I feel like if I had a choice, like, honestly, if we're gonna be real, what like, as much as I love women, on it's a hard choice. Like, I would not choose this for somebody.
Mm.
My life would be a lot easier, to be completely honest with you. Like today, the guy note today, they're like, "Alright, so are you sexually active?" I'm like, "Yes." And I'm like, "Do you use any contraceptions?" I'm like, "No." And she's like, "So what are you doing?" What I'm like, "Relax, girl. She's a female." And the sigh of relief of like, "Oh, thank God." I'm like, I would rather not have that conversation. I'd rather just be a part of the norm and just being like, "Yes, I use contraceptives, whatever." And so, like, I wish I didn't have to explain myself every time I go to the doctor of my sexual activity and who I
Mm.
do it with because it would be easier not to do that.
Also, why can't we update the questions? When you say no, that's when you should be prompted to be like, "Okay, are we celibate? Are we how are we being safe then?"
Right. But it's just and again, like, medicine, can't fault them, like, that's been, like it's an ingrained thing that they have to ask those questions and stuff, and so, like
Mhm.
but, like, honestly, it would be easier if it was a "choice," quote, unquote, I would choose the latter, to be completely honest with you.
Mm. Maybe when I was younger, I would agree with you, but now in this stage of my life, I could not imagine living with a man, all the time.
24/7?
I'm sorry. No. No.
You
And
couldn't
there's
do it?
no offense to men, it's just Olivia always smells so nice. You
That
know?
is true.
I couldn't do it. But I do remember because I believe the same thing too. But I don't know if you were like this. I remember getting so mad at heteros in the church who would um like fall into sexual sin because if sexuality is a choice, then your sexual sin's a choice, right?
Correct.
So I'm choosing every day to be celibate, to watch what I say around women or girls, and you just get to slip up and everybody goes, "Oh, it's okay. We forgive them." I had no empathy for those people, to be honest, and that's not fair to them because that was a internal thing over here.
Mhm.
But I just remember getting so angry.
No, same, like and what's crazy was, like, when we were internship, right, and whenever someone had quote unquote "fallen" and and
Mhm.
and they had to, like, do a whole speech on it and confession about it and how, like, like, I slipped up and, I had sex and I'm over here, like, I am, like, killing myself, like, trying to abstain from, like, any sexual activity, watching, porn, like, I was, like, literally it was a one battle after another, right?
Mhm.
And these motherfuckers could barely keep it in their pants. And then they would obviously confess it and make it a thing and bring it to light. And then, of course, we were like, like, "You're still called, you're still worthy despite, this mishap, whatever." And then it gets glossed over.
Mhm.
And I'm like, "Hello? Like, what about the ones who are over here, like, who done nothing, who are over here, like, trying to abstain and who have abstained?" Like, that's also a choice.
Okay? Celibacy is a choice. Sexuality is not.
Girl, say that one more time.
Celibacy is a choice, but sexuality is not.
Exactly, because, again, like,
Mm.
I truly believe that now again, like, if I were in a situation where I was tempted to do a little tiddly diddly, you know, I don't know if I would be
What's that phrase? Tiddly diddly?
tiddly diddly, you know? Like,
Diddling the titties, yes.
yes, or, inserting, either one of those things.
We're getting
Oh,
graphic now.
oh my graphic. Okay,
Okay, okay, okay.
like, I don't know if, like, again, like, I didn't date in high school or middle
Mhm,
school and not really in college. I didn't really have any prospects. So, again, I
mhm,
can't say if Nicole, if you were in a situation where you were dating somebody and
mhm,
there obviously was a attraction, right? Like,
mhm,
would you succumb and falter and slip up and have sex? I don't know. I can't answer that question now because again, like, I don't know if I would I don't know if I would be able to do that, but again, it's a choice, I think, a choice that, like, me not dating, a choice of, like, trying
mhm,
to abstain, and I feel like people misunderstand that of, like, what person who is in the gay community, like, is actively choosing this, like, you know what I'm saying? Ever like, I feel
mhm,
like, it's an attraction that is birthed within them as an individual, and, like, sexuality is a spectrum, and I feel
mhm.
like a lot of people in the gay community would say their life would be a lot easier if they were straight.
Yeah, I agree, and I think life definitely is a little bit like, life's hard, but it is a little bit easier if you're hetero, right?
Agreed.
Like, you're still gonna have a hard life, you still have to work hard, you still have to do all these things, but then there is not this additive to it of, like, being outside of the norm. But I feel like you and I really believed this misconception because we were choosing to be straight.
Correct.
So we were like, well, if we can choose this, then other people can. But by choosing it, we were pretty miserable because
Yes,
it's
like
genuinely just not a choice. You can't pick who you're attracted to. You can't pick who you fall in love with. Like, that's the point of
right,
being it falling in love, you know?
right. It makes me sad because, like, there are individuals, like, who I know and from near and afar who chose to, like, marry obviously like the opposite sex because again like they inherently believe that that is a choice. Now, like, do I believe that they'll ever be inherently happy? Who am I to say that, you know?
Mhm. Yeah.
But, like, it definitely is, like, a deeper thing of, like, okay, like, but are you truly ever gonna be happy? Like, having it's like having a cloud over your head and waiting like, waiting for, like, like, this, like, always hovering over, and it never really goes away. You can address it, you can talk about it, but I truly believe that, like, who you are and how, like, God made you and who you are attracted to never goes away.
Yes, and I feel like that's because remember when we were in it, we just believed like it was just another sin that we struggled with. We're always going to struggle with sin, right? Like
Mhm,
this is just another thing that some people don't struggle with. Like some people struggle with gambling or whatever. That's how or at least how I was trying to look at it as it being a choice. And then realizing there's some people who they can't hide it.
mhm,
You can try and be straight as much as you can, but you're not gonna change the way you dress, the way you feel, like, it's just going from that and then feeling like we left the church and not that we chose this lifestyle, but, like, we were open-minded to it and seeing how freeing it was versus being so, like, stuck in a box. I think that's why people feel like people choose to be gay, that it's a choice because you're choosing not to suffer anymore. You're choosing not to struggle anymore and to accept yourself for who you are.
mhm,
But and then I was thinking last week too, another misconception because when we were talking about my coming out story, that truly because this is the propaganda that was pushed in the church that people are gay because of one of two reasons.
mm,
One, they were sexually abused as a child, or two, because their same sex parent failed them and they're looking for that love in the same sex, which is also a little caveat to that why they think sluts are a thing, like hetero sluts. Like,
yeah,
oh, Nicole's dad wasn't there for her, and so that's why she seeks male validation or whatever. I think I always thought, oh, it must be scientifically proven when I was in the church. I really thought there were studies that people had done and that when gay people would answer these studies and these trials, that was what the numbers were showing.
mhm.
Little did I know, that's not true.
Nope, not at all. And what's crazy is, like, I think the abused one is just kind of really, really scary to think of. It's like, yes, like, there have been like, people who are abused every day, and that is something that is so prevalent in our society, not just in the United States, but, like,
Mhm,
globally, how there are horrifying individuals who are predators and seek to destroy, like, people's lives, and especially children. And the church definitely put in my brain that because or potentially if somebody was sexually abused, um, as a young child, like, like, prepubescent, that is a catalyst for them to feel like, oh, like, their brain is rewired to think like, "Okay, like, because I was abused by probably someone, by the same sex, then I'm inherently supposed to be attracted to that same sex," which is not
mhm,
not true at all. There's no scientific fact to back that up. Trauma is trauma. Like, I believe that there are many women who are sexually abused or just have sexual violence towards them, and most of them are people who their partners are not, and whatever, and most of them still are straight beyond that, unless
mhm.
you know what I'm saying. It's like even that too is a very scary thought process to have. And having that thought process, I tried to rationalize it for myself, but I'm like, I really wasn't. So I'm like, okay, that can't be it of why I'm gay, you know? Like
Mhm.
my parents, like, I don't think they failed me. I think they had definitely shortcomings in how they raised us, but like I feel like they loved all their kids equally. I don't think their parenting styles is the reason why I turned out gay, unless there's a scientific fact that I don't know about. Divorce creates the gays, so I don't know about that.
I don't think so. I haven't heard anything like that. But also, I just think it's dangerous rhetoric because I think it ties into why a lot of people think that people in the LGBTQ plus community are predators because they're saying like, "Look, this is why people are gay." And I think it just perpetuates a harmful a harmful reasoning that does it's not even true. Like, I don't
Mhm.
even know who made this up. I don't know where this started. If it like, you and I've watched documentaries about what is it, like, the gay conversion where they were like what was it? They were, like, utilizing people who, in, like, videos, and they were going on tour to churches saying that they
Mhm.
used to be gay, now they're not, now they're married to a man. And that documentary, most of the people in that documentary are gay and out now.
Yeah. Well, it's fear-mongering.
Mm,
Like, people fear what they do not know. Just how, like, that inherently is taught by somebody, by a
mhm,
parent or someone close to you, the church, like, all the inherent things that people, like, learn behaviors, they're learned from somebody else, like, you know what I mean? And
mm,
I feel like and even too, which is a good call out as well, people also think that too, like, if young kids are surrounded by people who are flamboyant males or masculine women, whatever, they pick up on those things and they also like, oh, like, they inherently those behaviors. Now to some extent, right, I could be kind of say, like, like, people's mannerisms and how they talk and how they move, you do look at your parents and you kinda, like, mimic to a certain extent. People who do the whole quote unquote, "Oh, they're my mini me." They look like
mhm.
me, they act like me in that regard, and I feel that's also, like it is true, yes, I feel like there are moments where, like, your child can resemble, like, you as a parent and how you what you say and how you talk, but I feel like inherently, they are still their own individual. They may, like, copy some things that you do and whatnot, but I feel like that should not also a misconception of, like, if you are surrounded by a gay person, you're gonna be gay.
Girl, if that was true, we'd be hetero.
Right. Growing up, I don't think I ever met a gay person until I was in high school. Well, I'm sorry, my auntie Harlan was, but she wasn't out back then, and it was like a whisper, like, that she was, but I was never close with my auntie Harlan. I don't think I remember even having a conversation with her until I was an
Mhm,
adult. Like, you know what I mean? I wasn't
mm.
around her, I didn't grow up around her. Like, I knew about later in life that she was potentially gay or not, but I knew of, like, certain people in my family who were, but I was never around them to, like, pick up
Yeah,
off of things or, like, see how they live. I think, like, literally my first person that I met who was gay was, like, maybe in, like, high school was when I first was like, "Oh,
mm.
you're you're not like everyone else. Like, this is interesting that ever like"
Yeah, the first gay person I remember meeting was in middle school. We had these 2 gay guys living next door, and they invited, like, some people from the neighborhood over for dinner, and we actually went. When I tell you, I was so excited because I remember being like, "I get to see how they live, like, what's going on in the house," and, like, also, like, I've never really met or been to somebody's house that was gay, so I was like, I don't know what I was expecting, and we went, and it was a boring adult party. There was no kids, and I just remember being like,
This
"This
is
is
it.
lame." Like, what is all this craziness that, like, what is it? Like, one of the misconceptions being like, they just have so much sex and they just can't control themselves and all this stuff, so
Right.
I was expecting us to walk into a house and it be like that we'd have to storm out, but it was a normal dinner party, and I think that's where there were small moments that I think helped me come to terms with my morals more so. Because after that, I just remember being like, "They're so normal." Like, who really cares? Like, obviously, like, they don't wanna burn in hell, I don't want them to burn in hell, but if that's how they wanna live, like, let them live.
Right. And that's why, like, I still don't understand why people are so up in arms about gay marriage. Even when I was in it, I was like, okay, they're getting married. They're paying taxes. Like, what's that gonna do with me?
Girl, I
Like,
remember do you remember the day it happened?
oh, when it passed by law, I think was it 2016? When was
It
oh
was
no, no.
2015.
15. Okay, okay. Yeah. I
Mhm.
don't remember specifically, but I do remember a pastor preaching about it that Sunday and they were hot.
Yeah, I remember in my house because, my dad is a Fox News guy, and so they announced it and all this stuff, and I remember hearing it on the news, and my dad was like, "It's just a sad day in America." Like, it was just gloomy, it was so bad, and I was old enough at the time to be like, "It doesn't affect us. Like, why do I care?"
Right, like, it really does not affect anybody whether or not someone gets married or not. Like, it does not affect you as an individual hetero couple.
Mhm.
Like, it does and it didn't really make any sense to me. So, like, when this pastor was, like, going on a tirade about it, like, I think they started crying. And they're like how sad it is and how broken America is becoming for allowing this to happen. And I was like, "But how is this affecting us right now in the church? That people want a piece of paper that
Mhm.
says they're together."
I
Like,
I also saw this girl on TikTok being like, "Just because gay marriage is legal does not mean you have to accept any proposal from a gay person. You can say no.
right.
You don't
You
have to
can.
marry."
Right, and honestly too, whatever, you can refuse service and goods. Like, I understand, like, there are a lot of people who are bakers and florists and the wedding community and people
Mhm.
who work in that refuse people who were in a couple to do their thing. I'm like, I would be upset, yes, but, like, at the end of the day, whatever, then you don't deserve my money. Like,
Yeah, I agree, like, I wanna know because I don't wanna give you my money, but I think inherently it's still wrong.
oh,
Like
I mean, it is wrong, and it's honestly, I'm like, I don't see how this is prevalent to you, whether you believe it or not. But I feel like the whole thing where like a lot of baker people got sued and all this
Mhm,
things, whatever, and like it was just a very like rocky time for like I guess the wedding industry. Like, 'cause, like, a lot of people like, okay, great, I want to get married now, whatever. I've been with this person for X amount of years. We've been quote unquote roommates. I want to marry this person. Like, I want the basic necessities of being able to go to the ER with my partner and not be, like, shunned from a room. Like, I wanna be able to go to doctor's appointments. Like, if like, there's the basic things that I think are not the end of the world that the Christian world that was literally going tirade about it. Like, I remember there were
mhm.
human videos who did portrayals
Yes.
of that. I actually made a human video. About well, me and my brother made a human video, but it wasn't like it wasn't about just, like, the gay culture, whatever, about Pulse and it like, all that stuff,
Mm.
whatever, and, like people were like, like, "Oh, this is going downhill, the world's ending, whatever." And at the end of the day, like, it would just never made sense to me. So I don't see gay people even before like super sex crazed. I think more heteros are. Look at TV.
Watching hetero couples on TV would make me straight. I would be what the heteros say is super straight. Hello? I'm obsessed with Bridgerton right now. Now, we are getting crumbs of a lesbian couple, and that's why I'm still holding strong. But
That couple ain't strong. I'm over it.
don't don't make me rant. Don't make me rant. I love them. I love them. Anyways,
I roll
anyways,
my eyes.
have you even
But
finished it?
yeah, I finished it. I didn't think it was that great. I'm
Okay.
sorry. I was like, okay.
You're you're entitled to your opinion even when your opinion is wrong. Okay? I support you in that, and you can live whatever fantasy world you want. I love them.
I
I
am
do.
correct. But you're not wrong. It's a very hetero like show that's full of sex. And I just feel like everything is over sexualized, gay or straight.
Yeah,
But people like to like point out the gay being the worst one of the two, which it's all kind of wrong if you think about it.
because they do the slippery slope thing. Do
Of
you know
like what do you mean?
like, it's a slippery slope, right? Like, they would say, if you smoke weed, you're only 2 steps away from doing crack, you know?
The gateway.
That, like, weed's the gateway drug, and I remember, it just here's my problem, and I have to rant about this because it really pisses me off. I genuinely believe, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, I don't think Christians understand consent because and the reason I say this is because someone has said this to me. Because, well, if you they basically say, if you partake in same sex, whatever, it's a slippery slope. So once you start there, who's to say that children are not on the agenda? Basically alluding to if you have a same sex relationship that you could end up being a pedophile. Okay.
Oh my god.
That is what I mean by I don't think they understand what consent is. Because even speaking with this person, I remember being like, the difference is consent. Like,
Right.
I only ever want to be with somebody who's my age, who's, I don't care, I mean, age. I mean, they was born a year or two above me, below me, and that's my cap. Because the age of consent. And they were like, well,
Mhm.
it's a slippery slope. I'm like, it's not though, because I'm not slipping anywhere near that. And
Right. I
so
mean,
that's what pisses me off. And that's why I think they don't understand consent. Like, you have to be of age, you have to fully comprehend what you're doing. And why would
yeah.
an adult want to be with a child? Like, just because I prefer boobies does not mean all of a sudden age is out the window.
Mhm.
That's what gets me heated.
Yeah. And true. And then I guess too like on that same note is like kind of like which sin is worse than the other, And like I feel like if sin is sin, right? Then why are we only like why are only the top 3 predominantly talked about? Like,
Hmm.
you know what I mean? Like there are gluttony's a sin.
But nobody
Like,
cares.
but no one cares about that. Gossiping is a
Hmm.
sin. No one talks about that.
I ain't giving that
Like,
up.
which is
I will tell you
crazy.
what.
Which crazy because the church are probably the worst gossips. Okay, like I remember being in like little like mini staff meetings and almost like half the meeting was about gossiping about other people.
That
Like,
is the one thing I do miss about church, because the gossip was
right, because everyone's up in everyone's business and like and, like, anything even people on staff are gossiping, so, like, you can't tell me that, like, that being gay trumps gossiping because according to the Bible, they're all equally the same.
All sin keeps you from God, so it's all the same.
Right, but we only talk about the top, the most prevalent ones because obviously, a murderer, hello? People right? I'm like, "Huh, what are we doing here?" People don't wanna equate that murder and being gay are the same according to the Bible, because clearly those 2 can't equal the same thing.
I agree. And the thing that always like tripped me up in the church was I would be like, well, why do we then not have the same punishments here on earth? Like if you're a murderer and you kill multiple people, you end up on death row or you end up in life in prison. Well, if I rob a store, not at gunpoint, I just steal a snack and then I get charged and found guilty, whatever. I serve what, like a couple days in jail or whatever. I don't know. Why are there different, like, how can we understand in our world, right, that there
Mhm,
are different consequences to different wrongs, but when it comes to the Bible, they're all the same, and they should all be treated equally, and we should all give them equal forgiveness?
right, because at the end of the day, like, a human wrote it, a human being put pen to paper, a human is speaking on behalf of God every Sunday. Like,
Mhm.
the human and the flaws that we all carry every day because no one is perfect is spewed into multiple and plethora of things that are being said. And it's just kind of like weird because again, like people exude their own opinions and what they believe onto other people and mask
Mm.
it that God told me to do this. And right,
Which dives into the 4th misconception we believed.
the gay agenda. Listen,
I truly believe there is no gay agenda
there isn't.
because you and I have seen what happens when a gay plans and throws a party. Oh, oh. The gays know how to party. They know
They
how to
do.
plan. They
They
know
do.
I'm talking gays with Excel spreadsheets, budgeting. And so you're going to tell me that there's been a gay agenda for how long and we haven't taken over the world?
Right,
There
right.
isn't one.
There isn't one.
But I think, you know, strike me down, but I think Christians, when they preach about the gay agenda, whatever, I think they're projecting. I think they're
Honey,
projecting because they have their own agenda. They're friends with you to save you for Christ.
honey, the Christian who knows has the real is a Christian agenda. You know what's crazy is the influencers, right?
Ugh.
I get infuriated, and this is something that I've always been really about is Christian influencers. They're probably the worst because why the fuck are you recording? How you took the time to put a camera, a ring light, the right corner, and you're filming yourself praying. That's weird.
Not that's not on my FYP.
Like you're they're always sitting and they're reading their Bible and they're having a camera at them. Like this is my devotional. I'm like, no one needs to see that. Like that to me is a very intimate moment. Okay. And
Hmm.
I feel like you don't see the gays posting up their intimate moment of them having sex unless they're getting paid for it on Pornhub or like fucking OnlyFans.
Okay, yeah. I was about to say, girl, I would know. There's plenty.
But you know what I'm saying? I feel like a devotion time is just an intimate moment, and I still covet that. Like I would like even then, even now, whatever. I'm having a moment. I'm
Hmm.
listening to music, ever. I would never film myself. Like it's weird. It's weird. It's weird.
It's
It's weird.
performative.
It's performative, it's weird. And I'm not saying the gays are the utmost performers, right? Like,
Mhm.
no one's but I'm saying never I feel like there's no agenda out there to, to convert more gays. Like, you don't see, like, people going on the street with a fucking big ass sign with a fucking blowhorn and yelling at people saying, Become gay! Come on down! You want fairy? You want fairy? Oh, girl, come on! We need more people who are more, we need more lesbians! Come on! Come on!"
Agree. I think devil's advocate, they would say that's what pride is.
Okay,
I know. I'm with you. I'm saying that is how they equate it. They were like, "Well, your pride, like, why is there children at pride?" Like, that's how they think when it's like exposure to the community does not mean you have to be a part of the community.
correct. But at Pride, I don't see, like, people are like some people wear little skimpy little outfits, right? But, like, and
Mhm.
that's their choice to express themselves that way.
Mhm.
But I've never, was been like, "This isn't inappropriate." But there are some people who are inappropriate, and they wear inappropriate things. Pride or
Mhm.
not pride, straight or not straight, people do that because sometimes people are annoying and want to be pick me's. So, like, yes, I do agree to a certain extent. People do cross the line on certain things when it's a family-friendly event, and they do wear, like, revealing clothes. But at the
Mhm.
same time, whatever, like, we have to understand that, like, because one individual, like, wears that does not speak for the entire community. Like,
Mhm. Well,
it's
there's no issue. I think there's no issue with wearing inappropriate. I'm out there in a thong and pasties any day of the week. You know me. I'm talking Beyonce concert, which I think yes the gays go to, but very hetero. At Pride, I'm wearing pasties. I'm wearing a see-through shirt. I am. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think there are just people who over sexualize everything and they over sexualize people's bodies. And it doesn't have to be about that.
mhm.
Like, I think if you're wearing massive cleavage, if you're wearing a loincloth, which I have seen at Pride, that you can express yourself any way. When you're telling children that that's wrong, you're basically saying, like, the human body that God created needs to be covered up.
Yeah.
You're
Well, because
over sexualizing the children and telling them that, like,
right.
children don't think and look at adults sexually or even their friends, like, you have a crush, but they don't understand that, and nobody's trying to explain that to them.
Well, because a lot of parents don't wanna have that conversation. Like,
There it
you know,
is.
I'm like, my mom never gave me the bird and the bees conversation. I had to find out things on my own. Like, I'm not mad at her for it. It's definitely a hard convo to have, but don't I don't, like, have anything against her, but a lot of people don't people don't like talking about sex. Like,
Mm,
it's uncomfortable because it's an uncomfortable thing that, like, it is behind closed doors and no one should see it.
mhm,
And I do believe to a certain extent, whatever, like, yes, like, that's something that's private between you and whoever you're with, like, no one needs to see all that, but I feel like, again, like, the over sexualization is widespread, and it's not only, like, amongst, gay people, it's everybody.
mhm.
But, like, the gay agenda to me, I'm sorry, it's not real. Like, the Christian one is more prevalent to me. Look at
Yeah,
it,
because it was forced
look
down our
now,
throats.
right?
It was
Like
forced down our throats, and yet we turned out gay, and now I'm not a Christian.
right. So, like, it's just crazy to me. I feel like the agenda of the church is such a loud one, and people tend to forget that. Like,
Mhm,
it really is shoved down your throat. I saw a video of the president getting prayed over in the Oval Office. and it was so weird. I was like, first of all, why are why are we filming this? Why are we filming these people praying over this man? There is no need to show that. If he wanted to get prayed for, cool. Like, why does he need to be on a camera? And that's my issue. It's like it's throwing it down people's throats. That's why so many people are leaving the church
Mhm.
because of the performative aspect of it. Because of people not being authentic. Because people are choosing biblical teachings and the harsh reality of certain things that are ostracizing people and dehumanizing them.
Mhm.
Like I just don't understand. Like even people when it comes to abortion, like they are just choosing these hard truths and that what is your truth is your truth, but you should not
Mhm.
throw it down someone's throat. Like I don't think that's okay at all. Because again, you don't see me on the streets, except for his pride, with the blowhorn. Gay! Be more gay! Like, if there was like a gay Bible, like what is this? First RuPaul verse 1:1. It says
Stop.
here, if
Just stop.
you're not shaking that booty for him, then you ain't shaking it for nobody else.
What is RuPaul's actual catchphrase? It's like, if you don't what is it? If you don't love
Oh,
yourself, how in the hell you gonna love somebody
somebody
else?
else. Yeah, yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm like,
Well, that would be in there, but it
it
doesn't
would be in
exist.
there. It doesn't exist because there's not a gay Bible.
It might make
Therefore
me a Christian again if there was.
true, and if there was, that would be what? A gay agenda.
We and that's what truly, remember, we believed it though. We
I know.
believed that there was, and that now that we're in the community, I understand we just wanna live. Like,
Yeah,
we want you to live your life however you wanna live. If you wanna be trapped in that organization, that's fine. That you do you. That's what you want. I don't wanna do that, and I don't wanna be forced to not be able to marry my wife just because your book says so.
yeah,
What
and
if I wrote a gay agenda book and it says everybody needs to marry gay, that's not cool with you, huh?
right. And I think this is the whole core of this, like, the all the misconceptions is, like, people just wanna live their lives. Like, right now more than ever, we're in a weird timeline right now, and I know for me, I just wanna be able to wake up, go to a job, make some money, travel the world, and, like, love who I wanna love. You know what I mean? Like, this is just the basic things in life. And it should not be this hard to be happy and just to live the life that I wanna live without having, like, the external factors of it all, you
Mhm.
know? And I feel like the whole basis of just even America's, right, is we wanted to be free, we wanted to do our own thing, we wanted to, like, have live life and liberty, right? Like,
Mhm.
let people do that. And I feel like if we come to a point in society where we allow people to live the life that they wanna live, like, who wanna love, I truly believe we would be a lot more happier.
I agree. I think that's why there's like such a high percentage of people with depression in America because there's all these societal expectations, but there's this lie that we have freedom. Like, are we free or are we not? Why do I have to adhere to somebody else's religious rules and bring it into politics and that's how we run the country? That's the stuff that pisses me off. Like, don't, because I remember even being as a Christian, we didn't force it on anybody else. My biggest
Right.
flex was meeting people who didn't know I was a Christian, and they would be like, "Oh, you go to church?" And I remember being like, "Yeah, I'm a cool Christian."
Right. Thing was, honestly, I was kinda the same way, like, you know, like, at
Mhm.
my previous job, whatever, like, when I was even, like, licensed pastor, like, no one on my job, really, knew about it, and, but then people got to know me, like, "Oh my I would never have guessed," and I'm just like, "Well, because, obviously it's an important part of my life, but, I just don't believe in shoving, like, my belief system on someone else." Like, I think as a role as a Christian is to love others and to not cast judgment because,
Mhm.
again, you can judge people in your own church, right? In the context of, if there's something that they're doing wrong in the context of being involved in your church, that's biblically, what would happen, but, I would never,
Mhm.
judge another person who isn't even a part of that realm because it's not my job. It's to love people. And what's crazy is that a girl at work I met, I knew she was Christian, and at one point I'm already out, whatever, and, she's very, very, you know, very Christian, is very, a part of what she, really, protects and rely on, and, she me and her are really good friends, and, I asked her, I was never, "Do you, think that I'm going to, what do you think of me being gay and us being friends?" And she was like, I love who you are, and I feel like God made you who you are, and, I wouldn't change that about you, and that doesn't
Mhm.
change anything about how I would treat you." And I was just like I'm like, it's just insane how, just the basics of life, of, just being a decent human being has been
Mhm.
forgotten about. Because I feel like you can still be a Christ follower and still love
Mhm.
people, and, and you can still may not disagree, how I live, that's okay. Like, I may disagree that you like matcha. I think it's disgusting.
Ugh.
But I'm
Yeah.
not right? But I would never tell you, "You need to stop drinking matcha," like that, you know what I'm saying? This is
Yeah.
obviously a big comparison, but you know what I mean?
Yes, I get exactly what you're saying, because we believe that even when we were in the church, but I will say, and I know this is wrong of me, but whenever I find out somebody's a Christian, I'm side-eyeing them. I am, because I was a Christian, I know what it's like, and
Yeah.
I tell you what, to me, I put you on my radar, and then when something happens and you say something crazy, I go, "There it is."
Right, right. And
You
then
know, when you come out homophobic, racist, whatever, I go, "There it is."
right. But I definitely do clock it. I'm like, "Okay, what are you gonna say? Something crazy?" But she hasn't said anything crazy yet. So she voted for Kamala. Praise the lamb. I was like, "Alright,
Ugh,
girl, we"
amen.
So, amen, right, amen to that. But as we end this week, um,
Mhm,
I have a Bible verse that I think it really, really exudes and, really hones in, of our time together. And as we end this episode, I really wanna just, get a Bible verse that I feel like really, exudes, our topic today. It's in
mhm.
Ezekiel 23, verse 19 to 20. Yet she increased her prostitution, remembering the days of her youth, when she engaged in prostitution in the land of Egypt. She lusted after their genitals as large as those donkeys, and their seminal emission was as strong as that of stallions. That's graphic.
This has been Alyssa.
This has been Nicole. We'll see you guys later.
Thanks for listening to Amen But Podcast. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts from or watch us on our YouTube channel. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok. Thanks for listening.
We post new episodes every other Friday.